I think where we came out is that Oxford B need to win 2 games without Oxford A having won 1 in order to wrap up this tournament. So we'll begin with the first toss-up of the first game. This author's penultimate play is about the regrets of a banker convicted of embezzlement. In his final play, Scott
Ibsen.
15. For 10 points each, name these animals from Norse mythology. This squirrel runs up and down the great tree Yggdrasil, carrying strife.
Very thoughtful there, something. Thoughtful there.
Evidently. Ratatosk. This is the 8-legged steed of Odin.
Yeah. So, Sleipnir.
Correct, 10 points. This canine son of Loki bit off Tyr's hand and would swallow Odin at Ragnarok.
Was it Fenris or Fenrir?
Fenrir.
Yes, or Fenris Wolf, it says here, so either of them would be acceptable. So 20 points, that's second toss-up. Robert Child criticised the Body of Liberties, a law code written by this man who arrived on the ship Arbella. In this man's sermon, a model of Christian charity, he claimed that the eyes of all people are upon us, and cited Matthew 5. 15. For 10 points each, name these heresies. The First Council of Nicaea condemned this belief that the Son of God was inferior to the Father. Its formulator lived in Alexandria.
Still happy with it? Arianism.
Correct, 10 points. Valentianism, Nazism, and Manichaeism are all described by this term, which is derived from Greek for knowledge. These systems generally contrast the body with the soul.
Gnostic.
Yeah, or Gnosticism. Yeah. Blaise Pascal followed the beliefs of this system condemned by Innocent X, which stressed original sin and predestination. It is named for a bishop of Ypres.
Jansenism.
10 points, 30%. Toss up 3. These entities are based on a namesake algebra developed by Edgar F. Codd, and the ACID rules describe their guarantees for transaction processing. Their content should be placed in normal form, and those used by websites are vulnerable to injections of SQL like drop table users. Oracle's flagship product is, for 10 points, what?
Databases. Databases?
Yes, relational databases, but I only needed databases, 10 points. One painting shows a reclining woman with a black ribbon around her neck, attended by a black woman holding a flowery cloth, for 10 points each. Name that painting, whose subject wears an orchid in her hair.
Olympia.
Correct, Olympia is a work by this French painter at luncheon on the grass.
Manet.
Manet is correct. This other Manet painting shows a blonde woman flanked by bottles of alcohol. Behind her, a curiously similar woman in washed out colours can be seen from the back as she talks to a man in a top hat.
Bar of the Folly Bergère.
10 points, 30 points the set. Toss up 4. During this country's April 2011 general election, the successor to the defunct Rural Party received 19% of the vote.
Sweden.
-5 was still in the power zone, but refused to join a coalition that favoured
Australia.
No, it's Finland. So -5, no points on that side. Toss up 5. The formulas for endohedral examples of these molecules include an @ sign. The earliest of those included lanthanum. In 1999, the most common of them became the most massive objects to display diffraction. They frequently have 70, 76 or 84 atoms.
Fullerenes?
Correct. 10 points.
Sorry.
10 points each, namely subdisciplines of mathematics. The RSA algorithm is used in this field, which seeks to secure information against attackers.
Cryptography.
Correct. Objects of study in this branch of math include the Lorentz attractor, whose behaviour is extremely sensitive to its initial conditions.
Chaos theory. Chaos theory.
Correct. This discipline studies dynamical systems whose measures are invariant, governed by the Krylov-Bogoliubov theorem.
Is this topology? Could be. Topology?
No, it's ergodic theory or ergodic theory. So 20 points on that set. Next toss-up. This city just west of the Kidron Valley contains Mount Scopus in its northeast. It was once supplied with water by Hezekiah's tunnel and contains a legislature led.
Jerusalem.
Is correct as 15. It features a wagon train led by Ishmael Bush and a soldier named Duncan Middleton who is searching for his fiancée Inez for 10 points each. Name this novel set in the year 1804, whose protagonist, an old man in his 80s, ends up dying in the title location.
This is America, is it?
Prairie. This earlier novel about that same character is set in 1757 and sees the protagonist kill Magua, who had killed his friend Uncas.
Is this Last of the Mohicans? Yeah. Yeah. Last of the Mohicans?
Correct, 10. Both The Prairie and The Last of the Mohicans were written by this American novelist who created Natty Bumppo.
Fenimore Cooper.
Is correct for 10 points, 20 to set. Next toss-up, 7. He criticised other psychologists for writing lists of psychological drives instead of a unified system in A Theory of Human Motivation. Some of his work was extended in ERG theory. In Motivation and Personality, he wrote about peak experiences as part of a theory that begins with food and shelter but culminates in...
Maslow.
Is absolutely correct, 10 points. This treaty's Article 231 established, Article 231 I should say, established the war guilt of a defeated power for 10 points each. Name this treaty to which John Maynard Keynes objected.
Versailles.
10 points. The same wording of the war guilt clause was used in Article 161 of the Treaty of Trianon, which made peace with this country after World War I.
I think is this Bulgaria or the Ottoman Empire? No, Ottoman Empire 7. It's Bulgaria. Austria-Hungary.
No, it's Hungary. It says do not accept Austria-Hungary. Along with Norman Davis, this future American Secretary of State under Dwight Eisenhower drafted the war guilt clauses at the Paris Peace Conference.
I think it was Dulles. Dulles.
Absolutely correct, 10 points, so that's 20 on that set. Here's toss-up 8. The husband of Pleione is mentioned by Homer. No, this husband of Pleione is mentioned by Homer as the father of Calypso. As the father of the Pleiades, he is also the grandfather of the son of Hermes. This figure helped Hercules by trading places in order to obtain the golden apples of the Hesperides.
Atlas.
Is correct for 10 points. 10 points each. Answer these questions about German states. This German state capital Munich also contains Nuremberg.
Bavaria.
Correct. Three states with capitals Dresden, Magdeburg and Hanover share this word in their name.
Saxony.
Correct. This state's capital is Potsdam, which was the site of an international conference in 1945.
Brandenburg.
Correct. 10-30 set. We'll have a score update, shall we?
Oxford B had 110 and Oxford A 140.
Good. We agree, right. Score. I see it all the time. Next toss-up. One poem by this author begins, Hope was but a timid friend, while another asserts that no coward soul is mine.
Christina Rossetti.
-5, there we go, still in the power zone. This author is better known for a novel partly narrated by Nellie Dean, in which the protagonist, an orphan found in Liverpool, marries Isabella Linton, though he loves Catherine Earnshaw. For 10 points, name this Victorian author who wrote about Heathcliff in her novel Wuthering Heights.
Emily Bronte.
Is correct, 10 points. This leader of the Second Viennese School composed a survivor from Warsaw and Piero Lunaire for 10 points each. Name this composer who is best known for developing the 12-tone technique.
Schoenberg.
10 points. This Schoenberg sextet, which was rejected by the Second Viennese School, was inspired by a poem by Richard Daynell.
Transfigured Night.
Transfigured Night.
Very good, 10 points. This Schoenberg opera with an unfinished third act uses a libretto based on Exodus.
Something like Moses. Was it Moses and Aaron? Yeah. Moses and Aaron.
10 points again, 30%. Another toss-up. The Byzantine Emperor Constans II tried to move his capital to this island, which was
Sicily.